What's up, everybody? This is Review Box, and we got another special interview episode. I think these are pretty fun. Today, I have my special guest, Jacob Fernandez.
With
How
an
are
F.
you doing today? With an F.
With
Fernandez.
an F, not an H.
I didn't say with an H.
I know.
I know. You like that?
I did. I really
Yeah.
did.
You appreciated that?
I really did appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With his film, please go check it out. The link is going to be in this bio. One and Other. Now, before we get into it, we want to kind of get to know you because I know you. You know what I mean? Okay. But real quick, though, I did want to talk about the title of your film.
Okay.
Can you explain that to me? Because I was talking to somebody earlier and I just felt so stupid. And I was like, wouldn't it, not supposed to, but like, wouldn't it be called One and Another? Or is one and other also correct to say?
It is supposed to be kind of like a play on words.
Okay.
A little bit.
I figured that.
So it's like one another. If you say it fast enough, it's one another.
Okay.
So that was the meaning behind it.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I just like when I first started writing out the script, the main character was named One, and I figured the other character would be called The Other.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, oh, well, I'll just figure that.
And
That's
you like
the
that
title.
One Another.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful film, by the way.
Thank you.
I
really
I'm a good interviewer, I would say. I actually rewatched it.
Oh, thank you.
I rewatched it like 2 times today.
Oh, wow.
Just to like really look at it and
I really
really like
appreciate
analyze it. And I
Uh-huh.
was just like, when I first saw it at the film festival, I could have swore it was longer.
No.
It blew. Yeah, when I was like, wait, it's only like 2 minutes. I was like, this is crazy. Like
Yeah.
it felt so much longer, but I guess that's good. I guess I was that interested into it.
That's good. I'm glad.
Where I'm not saying it didn't drag out. I mean, like it was good, well paced,
Mhm.
and like I was just very interested in it. But before we talk about that,
Okay.
what I like to ask people is if you can remake one movie.
Oh,
Okay, yeah, this is a hot question.
okay.
You can remake one movie, unlimited budget,
Mhm.
any movie, any movie you can think of.
Mhm.
We've had some crazy ones on the pod.
Okay.
Do you have it in your head?
I was prepared for this.
Okay.
I did some homework myself.
Oh,
I saw
okay.
your other interviews.
Whoa.
And I was like, I had to. So I did my homework too.
Dude, you know what? The appreciation, bro. The respect.
The respect from you as well.
Respect from you too.
Yeah.
But do you have it locked in?
I do.
Okay.
It's Lilo and Stitch because that live action remake is garbage. It's garbage. I would do it over again.
You know what? I feel like you are the first, and you will be the only person to want to remake a movie that came out the same year.
Yeah.
That came out the same year that this interview is being held.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
crazy.
Hey,
you want to remake a 2025 movie?
Yeah. It was that bad. You know what?
It was bad.
Here's the thing.
Okay.
I watched it
Uh-huh.
and I really appreciate it because I was like, oh, I haven't seen Lilo and Stitch in a really long time. And I was like, okay. When I watched it, I was like, this is fine. And I was like, but I should watch the original after. And I watched the original and I said, that remake was dog water.
Okay.
Yeah.
I felt the same exact way.
Yeah.
I watched it in theaters
Mhm.
as a grown man would. Watch Lilo and Stitch.
Same here. Yeah.
Right?
Same here.
Watched it in theaters. And I was like, it's not that bad. I was like, why are
No,
people
yeah.
giving it hate?
Yeah.
Came home and I was just like, you know what? Why not? And I watched the original.
Mhm.
And I'm like, ooh. I'm like, this all kind of makes sense now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I was like, ooh, this is not good.
No.
For those who haven't seen it, small little review. I forgot his name, but they don't have the shark guy in it. Do you know what I'm talking
No,
about?
they do not have
Yeah,
Gantu.
they don't have. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
What's his
they
name?
don't. Gantu.
Gantu. They don't have him in it.
Yeah.
They made it where Bubbles is not in the know of like with aliens, right?
Yeah.
And then the biggest thing is that Nani basically abandoned Lilo.
She abandons Lilo for San Diego State.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, okay, hold
Just
up.
crazy.
Pause real quick.
Yeah.
Do you have a problem with San Diego State?
No, I got no problem with San
Okay.
Diego State. I'm
Okay.
just, it just, why she gotta go?
It's, you know what? It's the way you said it. You're like, for San Diego State.
You know what? I think I know a lot of people that have gone to like San Diego State or
Yeah.
have gone to like UC San Diego and then gone into San Diego State because they couldn't afford it. And I don't know. I just, I have no personal beef with it. I might
Yeah.
have like some imaginary beef with it.
Imaginary beef. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, because I'm just saying, like, if you're ever just driving, you're on the freeway, and you see a sign, San Diego, 200 miles away, you're just like, like, I just hate it. But Lilo and Stitch. Oh, and then the fact that they made Jumba the main bad guy.
I
was kind of crazy.
Really disliked. I remember watching the film and I was like, this doesn't feel right. I don't think he was the bad guy.
Like, he was bad, but then he was like redeemable. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And then like
yeah.
he becomes part of it. And a big thing is there wasn't enough cross dressing.
No, there was hardly any.
But I will give it to the director. Okay, so pros and cons. The director said this. He said, I tried. And then he posted a photo, I believe, of like artwork of more cross-dressing.
Yeah.
But then he did say that he didn't want to add the shark guy in the film.
That was a mistake.
Yeah, like he's like, oh, well, I feel like I need to tell a more cohesive story or something like that. And I'm like, dude, it would have fit perfectly. Like, how, okay, for example, it's not like Lilo and Stitch, the animated version. It's not like that one was bad, where it had to make adjustments. Do you get what I mean?
I have to say something.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because I watched the original animation like 3 times. I watched it the first time, and then I was like, I gotta watch this again.
Yeah, not in the same day, right?
No.
Okay.
This is like spread out over like.
I was like, you were really mad about that live action.
I know I was. I really was. When I watched it, I was like, I got really mad, and I wanted to watch the original animation, and I came out of it. I came out of the second watch, and I said to myself, this is the best story ever put to screen. It's so tight. It's so like efficiently told. Everything fits into everything else. You could not take anything away or add anything.
Wow.
That would like add to the overall message. It's so tight. And it blends aliens, Hawaii, CIA,
it has it all.
Child welfare, tourism in Hawaii, and it's fun. And it's a fun story. And it's true. Just like when you watch it and then you watch it again and then you watch it again, you go, there's just layer after layer after layer. I don't think you see that in a lot of Disney movies. And you don't see that in the live action remake.
You know what? This is probably that was the most technical breakdown of Lilo and Stitch that I've ever heard, and I respect it.
I have a lot of passion for this film right now.
Yeah.
I really do.
And you want to remake it.
And I would remake. I would remake it.
And
way
that's
better.
the stem of the question.
That's yeah.
That's what you'll remake, and we'll go into that.
No.
I mean, hey, on Review Box, we do review movies. I mean, we haven't reviewed Lilo and Stitch. I guess that was a little segment right there that could fit in for it.
You should put it in. Well, if you do, invite me back. I have opinions.
100%.
I have opinions.
100%. I don't even think you need to come back. 'Cause this is it. This is the episode of you saying
that's true.
it. Like,
yeah.
It's gonna be like special interview with Jacob Fernandez / Lilo and Stitch review.
It's you could definitely label it.
Yeah, you have it there. So we'll move on. I have another question.
Okay.
What are a couple movies that describe you, like that are you?
Okay.
Like, movies you like. You don't, they could be anything you want.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not over here.
Okay.
I think one of the greatest movies ever made is Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle, but that's just me.
I don't know that one, but
okay,
I'm interested.
One of the greatest movies ever made.
Okay.
It has adventure.
Okay.
It's about a story about friendship and going over these roadblocks to like achieve something that they both want. Okay. And there's drama between the friends. It's great. It's amazing.
That's all you want in a film.
Yeah, it's a stoner movie. It's a raunchy stoner movie, but it's perfect.
They're really funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like it's ahead of its time. It's diverse.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah, the main characters are Korean and Indian, I want to say.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That is really ahead of its time.
I've
never seen it.
And it's like set in the early 2000s.
I'll write it down.
So
after
they say
this.
the craziest words. I'll just say it like that.
It was a different time.
Yeah.
It was a different 100%, time. They could
pass. It's absolutely amazing. But
okay.
For example, that's what I mean by like, what movies are you? Like anything.
Okay. I had responses to this, but I'm gonna go with what's on the top of my head, which is one film called Husbands by John Cassavetes. It's been my favorite film for a really long time, and I just think it's such like kind of a heart-wrenching film. You know, it's a film that's kind of really hard to watch and doesn't really make a lot of sense until the end. And then it's like, I've never really experienced a film like that before. And John Cassavetes, who is actually in it and directs it, he, I think, creates a really raw portrait of like manhood in like, I think like the 70s is when it was.
And like, is he showing like what manhood should be?
No, it's like toxic, man. It's like super toxic.
Okay.
These guys, their husbands, their fathers, and they're like the worst people imaginable.
Okay.
Like that's how hard it is to watch. They go and they like leave their families. This isn't really spoilers.
Yeah, go for it.
But they leave their families to like London, and it's like the abandonment of like responsibility, and then seeing them kind of like just be really pathetic throughout. It was just like, I've never seen that before, and I think like the raw performances that he's able to capture is like just super inspiring. And it's like, I don't know if you really can watch or find a lot of other films like that where you can really like feel the humanity behind like the actor's eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What year did this come out?
I think it was in the 1970s. I'd have to.
Oh, okay.
I'd have
so
to
it's
check.
from the time.
Yeah, it's from the
okay,
time.
Cool.
Yeah.
See, that's what I like about movies that are made in 1970s that are about 1970s, because then it's actually what it's about.
Yeah.
Compared to a movie that's like in 2020 about 1970s, they're
It's not
bound
the
to
same.
get things wrong.
Well, I think it's
You know
like
what I mean?
it's like the nostalgia that like is most of like cinema
Yes.
nowadays, right?
Yeah,
Where it's like,
nostalgia sells.
yeah. I mean, we have to go back to a time in order to like say something, and it's like, it's not. I want to know what's happening right now, you know, because it's an interesting time. I think as much as the 70s was interesting.
Well, right now is Lilo and Stitch, and that's just not working out. So I mean, you know.
It was it's Disney being Disney. I don't know.
But anyways, any other films?
Any other film? Oh God. Okay. Can I say Lilo and Stitch again?
Yeah, 100%.
Cool.
Locked in.
I think it was my favorite when I was like really really small, and I really liked it. It was a film that like my mom and I bonded over a lot. So that was really nice, and I like kept that around for a really long time, and then I didn't watch it for a few years until the live action remake came out.
Was it one of those movies as growing up as a kid that you're playing it every day? Do you know what I mean?
I used to have this really weird thing.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I should say Pirates of the Caribbean too. Just add that as like a side thing.
Part 1?
My favorite is 2.
Your favorite is 2.
My favorite is Dead Man's Chest.
Very interesting, yeah.
Davy Jones still looks like $1,000,000. Better than Thanos.
It really, better. I feel like it's on par with Thanos.
Better.
But it's better than a lot of other stuff that's out.
Way, yeah.
Insane.
Yeah.
I've never heard someone say that they like part 2 the most. I've always heard like part 1 and 3.
Because they're losers.
Oh, okay. Well, I really like part 1.
I'm sorry.
No, it's all right. I'm fine.
Yeah.
I'm fine to be a loser.
I just have like very, very strong opinions.
Okay.
And
I like
2's
it.
the best.
I like it.
I don't. Listen, I think it goes like 2, 1, and then 3.
Do you know what would have added a lot in part 1?
What?
I don't know if you heard this. I barely found this out. Is the story of the Black Pearl. They cut that out in part 1.
Really?
And it would have added so much to Jack Sparrow's character. And I might butcher it a little bit, but this is more or less what he was talking about.
Yeah.
He basically he's talking to people and they were telling him about how like because I guess before he was a pirate, he just like helped the British or something, like deliver stuff. Did you hear about this?
I did. It's when he's talking with Beckett, right?
Yeah, he's talking with someone,
Yeah.
and then they're basically like, "Oh, well, what had happened?" And then he basically like, he Jack Sparrow ran a cargo ship, and then basically the cargo ship never made it there, and then he's just like, "Well, why didn't you do that? Like, that shows that you're bad and blah blah blah." And he's like, "Well, people aren't cargo."
Yeah.
Like he says that, and I'm like, dude,
yeah.
if they had that in the film, like that would have been so much fire because it would have added, like, yeah, Jack Sparrow's goofy, like he really is, like he has like some goofy moments, but it shows who he really is in that moment, and then that's why they were saying like it's weird they cut that out because I think in part 2, and please correct me if I'm wrong, they say that Jack Sparrow owes Davy Jones like 100 souls, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so they're saying that the souls were the people that he didn't deliver as cargo.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and then that's why the British people burned down the Black Pearl because it made them no money, and then that's why they feared it when it came back because they remember burning it down for that reason of freeing those people.
Yeah.
So Pirates of the Caribbean, banger movie.
Banger.
Part 2, banger movie. Part 3, banger movie.
They're
4
all
and 5,
they're spinoffs.
There's one part, I think it's 4 or 5, that made me cry a little bit when Barbossa's with his daughter.
Oh yeah,
and
that's
she's
in
like,
5.
she's like, who am I to you? And he's like, treasure. Like, and I'm like,
dude, Jeffrey Rush, he's just so good.
Yeah, I was just like, oh. But any other movie or just one more movie?
One more. Okay, hold on. I gotta man, I really did have things prepared for this. I wanted to be
you're good, bro.
really out there. Because I feel like I just I like a lot of movies.
Yeah. I do too.
Yeah. You know what? I'll go with the classic. This was so my third movie will be The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly because.
Do you mean your fourth movie?
My fourth movie.
Yeah.
My fourth movie.
Husbands, Lilo and Stitch, Pirates of the Caribbean 2.
Mm-hmm.
And what was this again?
The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
Okay.
So classic Western by Sergio Leone. It was the first film I watched, and then after I watched it, I was like, I wonder how they did that. It was the film that introduced me into filmmaking and stuff, and really got me interested. Where Lilo and Stitch and Pirates of the Caribbean were more fun. Yeah. This one, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly was more I want to know how to do this. I want to figure out what makes this work, because you'd have really wide shots and then you go into an extreme close-up, and it felt like cinema to me.
Yeah, it felt like. Did it feel to you when they were doing those close-up shots, that was the first time when you looked at it it was a different way they told the story that you haven't seen before? Yeah,
that,
you know what I mean?
That's exactly what it was.
It opened it. You're like, whoa, there's more to this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there are very few films like that. I think where it's they do something and you go, wow, that's different. And I think with that film specifically, I feel like a lot of it was different, especially even the music and the soundscape and all of that. Music and films very iconic. You have Indiana Jones, Star Wars, stuff like that, where it's really ingrained. But I feel The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, it's different somehow. I feel it it's on another level where it's the music is just more than integral to the story and the movie. It's the bones of the movie. Okay. There's a scene of Tuco running around a graveyard, and you have the ecstasy of gold playing, and it's no other song fits that, and that song kind of carries the visuals, and it's and then just the filmmaking and Clint Eastwood just giving his little dirty stare.
Crazy enough, I know the movie because it's in pop culture. It's been copied a million times. In this Rango even copies it. You know what I mean? Never seen it.
That's okay.
That's okay.
That's okay.
I will put it on my list. Long story short, I have a list where if people tell me you should watch this movie, I put it on my list. Okay. I started doing that this year.
Nice.
And this year I saw The Godfather for the first time.
Oh, what'd you think?
On my list. Damn, they're long.
They are long.
They are long.
They are long.
2 is better than 1.
Yes.
I feel.
Yeah.
Didn't care for 3.
I've never watched 3.
I kind of was just but part 2, it was so long that I had to watch it in segments. I was like, dude, this is crazy.
Yeah, it's a long film.
I feel like we could go in the editor's bay. I could take out a good 30 minutes, and I know people will kill me for saying that, but come on here.
I
felt that way with the Batman too.
Oh, with Matt Reeves' Batman.
Yeah, I feel like you could
really.
I feel like you really could have took out 20 minutes. It would have been. I love the movie. Don't get me wrong. But you could have took out 20 minutes.
I think there's something to say about shorter films. I think that's why I really like Lilo and Stitch so much. Is that it's 90 minutes. Okay. And it's so...
No, not do you.
You got me on it. You got me on it. Yeah. You know what? I got myself on it, really.
You circled back I'm circling it. I'm okay.
This is really the review. Okay. Yeah.
Go for it.
But,
remember, we... Godfather to Lilo and Stitch, okay?
Yeah.
You're doing the connection.
I'll do it.
Shoot and we'll move on.
It's gonna go.
Shoot and we'll move on.
I think so with Lilo and Stitch specifically, it's 90 minutes long, and it there's so much into it. Every detail is packed. Everything you see, visually looks or adds on to the themes of the story. Every line that they say it adds on to the themes of the story. Every plot point just builds and builds and builds and builds and builds. And it's still fun. You still have your like action moments and stuff, and you get it all in like a very tight 90 minutes, and you can go on with the rest of your day. And I think that kind of filmmaking is kind of a lost art, because I feel like a lot of the time, especially with like remakes and stuff, people are looking to like fill in and like expand on a lot of the themes. And I feel like a lot of the time people over explain. And when I look back at old films, like I used to be, when I started out like watching The Godfather, I was like, oh, this is cinema, you know, and really looking at like oh, if it's long, it's good, you know.
Yeah.
And because like it's so detailed, it's so subtle, you know. But it is like what you're saying. I can take 30 minutes out of the film, and if I can still get the same message, that's impressive. That's more impressive than the final cut of the film, you know.
100%. So to move on, speaking about film, we're going to talk about your film.
Cool.
Once again, go check it out, One and Other.
Yeah.
I just want to start out with, okay, so I feel like on the surface level, and please correct me if I'm wrong, on the surface level, it was really like a guy's trying to ask out a girl.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Deeper into it, why'd you pick that quote? So they're like, okay, not spoil the film. Go watch it, come back. But just to talk about it a little bit, the story, because I want to talk a little more about the production side. But like, what made you pick that certain quote? I can't remember on the top of my head, but I was just like, okay, like he basically tells her that quote, and that's kind of his way of asking her out.
Yeah.
It's from what I got from it.
So that one specifically.
Beautiful quote, by the way.
Yeah. Thank you. It was written by a really great guy, Frank O'Hara.
Yeah.
And
you credit it in the film.
I did. I was thinking of not and saying written by me, but
whoa.
But I would have ran into some things. No. But it essentially, the reason why I used that quote was because that was the poem I used, I think, in like a Valentine's Day thing for my girlfriend. And really the film, I wanted it to be kind of a love letter to my girlfriend and I, you know, like that's kind of what I wrote it thinking about, is like our interactions with each other.
From the film, I love that, because now it's like, I got the feeling, but it's like, you can tell that came from a real place, the film.
Yeah.
Like it's a real interaction, if that makes sense. Like that's what I got from it. And I think that's why I liked it so much. It was like, it was short and sweet. Yeah. But it was real. Like, you know what I mean?
Thank you. Yeah.
And the production side of it, or some of the shots I like how we don't see her face yet, and it's like him, and then it's like the bookshelf, and then it churns, and it's like both of them, and they're going back. Yeah. And I love it, the whole like he's trying to plan it, set it up there, and then she's going through the other books, and he's like, okay, hold up, like look at this one real quick. And then she's like, no, I don't want this one. Like, I loved it. It was like, for only being 2 minutes, there was so much in it. Thanks. It was kind of like we were saying with the 90-minute films. Yeah, like you didn't overstep. I feel like you literally hit everything you needed to hit. Now to get in the production side, correct me if I'm wrong, but is that filmed in Mount Sec in the studio?
No, that's in my library. Or no library. No, it's not.
You have your own library.
No, it's in my living room. That was converted into a library. It was in like a corner.
Okay.
So I had to go to IKEA, and I had to get a couple bookshelves. And I've henceforth used one of those bookshelves is for yarn, and the other one is for actual books again.
Because you know what was crazy is the background, the window, and the lights.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, you place them there. Oh, that's the cat Mitt, by the way.
Nice.
You probably won't see him on camera, guys. But the lights, it looked like the back of the studio.
Oh, really?
That's why I was just like, did this sneaky guy, film it all right there in the studio? But you filmed it at home, which is great. Yeah. Was it a one-day shoot?
It was a one-day shoot. Well, it kind of, bled into 2 days a little bit because at the very end when Ryan, the actor, says the quote, we got it on the day, but when I was watching the dailies, I was like, I want a different read. So I texted him very frantically, and I was like, can you please come in tonight? And he was like, yeah, of course. And so
you're like, come over.
yeah,
I'll lay down some snacks. You'll hit your line, and we'll watch Lilo and Stitch.
we'll watch Lilo and Stitch. Yeah,
Not the live action, the original.
I've
You're
I've gotten some flack for that opinion, by the way, saying
for
that
the Lilo and Stitch thing.
for saying that it's the best story put to screen.
Oh,
Yeah,
that person who you talked to who was giving you slack, they don't know nothing.
they really don't.
Yeah, here first on Review Box. You don't know nothing
I'll show it to him. He shot the film, so he was the DP.
of Lilo and Stitch.
No, he was the DP of my film.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, you got in an argument with the DP of Lilo and Stitch.
I wish.
Of him saying that it wasn't a great movie, and you're over here saying it was.
You know what? I would say that if I interviewed for him, I would say that 100%. I would get into
okay, so you to the DP, we appreciate you, but you're wrong.
You're wrong.
Anyways, we'll stick back to
Whatever
this.
opinion you really have.
Did you run into any issues in production? Because filmmaking, there's never problems.
There's
right?
never problems.
I love saying that.
It was so smooth sailing. No, no. The biggest thing was in my house. I have 2 dogs and 2 birds, and the birds were fine, even though they squawk all day. Usually, put them in a little side room. They're fine. Because it was at I think we started shooting at 9:00 at night. But my dogs, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna separate them into one room and the other room. They're both very active dogs, and when people started entering the house, they started scratching at the doors and started sniffing and really could not film anything. So I was I thanked my stars because my parents came home. And I was like, can you please just calm them down, keep them in one room?
Yeah. You're in director mode.
Yeah.
But then it's even more than that because it's it's a short film, but you're the creative force, you're the director, you're the writer, it's your house. You're trying to orchestrate this together to bring it to life. Mm-hmm. And you just need to please just quiet, dogs.
Please, for the love of God, man. Yeah. There was actually, I looked at one of the recordings, one of the files, and it was 5 minutes of silence because the dogs, right after we hit record, they started hitting on the door, and I was like, okay, we'll just wait it out. Hold on. And they were quiet for 3 seconds. At the 3-minute mark, I was like, cool, let's start. Oh, okay, they're starting to scratch again. And then it was all right, we just have to stop. Yeah. And yeah, and then I think Kat, my girlfriend, was able to come in, calm them down. And I was like,
you're please calm these dogs down.
Dude, I was so stressed out. And everybody was there, and I was like, I want to get this done for you guys. Let's
I don't know if you've seen any of the pod episodes, but there's been a lot of episodes. Well, I used to my dogs know how to open the sliding glass door.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So some pods, they would just come in, barge in.
That's funny.
Wreck the whole place. And then so in the pod, you'll just see out of nowhere, there'll just be a cut, a mad cut. But now I've gotten to the point where I don't care. I'll let them come in and they'll get a little crazy. If they hit the camera, then I gotta pause. But they do that sometimes. Or if certain people walk past the over there or whatever, they'll start barking crazy, and I'll just be hold. But yeah. And Chance, right? Or saw him at the
I've met him.
Yeah, he did the Vel one. It was the same thing. He came over and he had to do a pickup for Vel, and he actually filmed it right here because, long story short, we were redoing the whole living room, so the whole place was gutted.
Oh, nice.
So it was perfect. So he did a shot. My German Shepherd wouldn't shut up. He was in the other room and scratching at the door. 80-pound dog scratching at the door.
I know exactly. Yeah,
and then my golden, she couldn't not be next to me without being mad. So she was a on set dog. She was just sitting with me the whole time. Yeah.
She wanted pets.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then it was funny because we just filmed a short film here, and I literally, the entire shoot, I had my golden with me the whole entire time because she just sat next to me, was being quiet. It was funny because real quick, we had a scene where a character is yelling, and he's like, get out of here.
Yeah.
And then we're in the backyard when we do that, and he's like, get out of here, and it's a wide shot. And as he's saying that, he's holding character, get out of here. And then you just see my golden retriever just walk up and just look at him. And she just did it so docile and slow, and I'm like cut, and we all just started laughing, and I was just like, Haley, he wasn't calling you. And I'm like, but anyways,
that's adorable.
So you ran into some issues, but you solved them.
Yeah.
More or less, how long did you think it took? Like, what time did everyone show up? What was call time?
Call time was 8 o'clock. It was about an hour before first shot.
Okay.
Everybody pretty much showed up on time. There were a couple people that had like,
Excuses.
they had
I'm
some
just kidding.
excuses.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, it was a crew of 5. I wanted to
Okay.
go in there like really small crew.
Yeah.
Because
I like
it's a
that.
tiny living room and stuff, and I feel like skeleton crews sometimes like work a little bit better than like fully fledged like 20 people crew.
Yeah.
So, yeah, everybody was really pulling their weight though, and once we were shooting. I mean, we were really flying through. The actors were really well versed, and it was a really good time. It was like really what I loved about it, and what I love about filmmaking is just the collaboration, right? Everybody was really collaborative. Everybody was really like listening to each other's ideas, figuring out, how to do the scene the best we possibly could, coming in there obviously like with a plan, but then if like something wasn't working, we'd, figure it
How to
out.
pivot together.
Yeah.
No, I love that too. The short film that we just did, I wanted it to be a small crew. So that's what we did. And I told everybody I opened up, I was like, all right, guys, look, well, we're here. I'm not your friend. I'm either Mr. Director or Mr. Kelly. Everyone was like, damn. But I was like, no, I'm just kidding. I was like, look, I have an idea I have the shot list. I want to follow the shot list. I was like, but if anyone has any opinion, voice it.
Yeah.
Like, I want to hear it. Like, hey, that looked like crap. I'm like, thank you. Let's do it better.
That's beautiful. Yeah.
And then that's what's cool. It's like when you find a good crew, like it works well. Do you have like an idea of how long it took though? Because you said like first shot 9 p.m.
It was at 9. We ended right at 1 a.m.
Okay.
So it wasn't
not too bad.
Yeah, I didn't go in too late. I was actually like, I remember talking to my first AD, and I was like, oh, I think we'll end at like maybe 3 or 4. And she's like, no, we're not doing that. And I was like,
she's like, I'm not doing
yeah. I was like, okay, fair. So
Yeah.
she was like, you have 4 hours to shoot it. And I said, you know what? That's a good challenge.
that. Yeah. And I know you told me it is like a love letter to your girlfriend, which is awesome. But where did it come to? Meaning like, when were you like, you know what? You thought about it, wrote it down, and were like, I'm going to make this. Like, that's my last question. Like, what drove you to finally just make it? Because that happens with a lot of people. If they'll have 50 ideas, but no execution. You know what I mean?
Interesting.
Yeah, take your time.
No, I think it was just like a lot of, look, everybody was like doing a production and stuff, working on like creating their own ideas. And I was like, I haven't done that in a really long time. I've helped out with like the school productions and stuff and whatever Stillman like has, but that's not like, your own stuff. And so I was like, I really want to do my thing, and I was like locked up in the Mount Sac library waiting for my girlfriend to get out of her class because we'd go in together. And I would like be there for 2 hours. And then I saw the vision looking around at like all the books and stuff, put it on paper, and, really like consciously said to myself, I want to do something in like 2 minutes, really tell like a complete story, and tell a story that's like a little bit like open-ended and trying to get like some nuance into it. And and then I wrote the script, and I was really happy with it. And I said, I can make this, and really being excited to put together a small crew and ask people like, hey, do you want to be a part of this, and getting like finally seeing something that like I made come to fruition.
Yeah, it's great, huh?
Yeah.
You're like, hey,
it's a great feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And no, that's cool. Like, I could see that there's love into it. And then I think that's what I appreciate the most about it.
Thank you.
It's just like, it's nice. I don't know. It's like, it's like, I want to say like feel good in a sense, but it's just like, it's not cheesy either.
Yeah.
So
that was
that's
my
what
goal.
I like too.
Yeah. That was my worry.
Yeah. It's not.
I was like, there's a poem in it and stuff. So that's why it's a little bit different too.
Yeah.
And I was like, my main thing was I wanted the characters to say like, I love you, without actually like saying those words.
Yeah.
And that was like one of my like big kind of mission statements when writing the film.
Yeah. Cause that's what I got. Like, okay, the love's there.
Yeah.
She's just waiting for him to be like, come on, dude.
Yeah.
Take me out.
Come on. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to remake it. And it's just going to be like, please go out with me. I'm just kidding. No, it's a great film. Once again, please go check it out. One and Other. And actually, I lied. I have one more question.
Okay.
Do you have anything coming up that you're gonna make? Any ideas? It could even be like a quick like little plot. It doesn't even. You don't have to be like, well, I'm working on this, but anything floating around that you might think you're working on next?
Yeah, so I'm gonna put together a little documentary revolving around like my grandpa.
Oh, nice.
I had a coworker that left the company a little while ago, but I remember he kind of put the idea into my head of like documenting, your loved ones before they're gone. And I was like, I want to do that. So like, I think I finally cracked like kind of the story to revolve like that kind of documentary around. And so I'm excited to go forward with that and really like kind of get that done. Probably be even a smaller crew than like this last one. But then I also have another short film that I'm like piecing together a little bit, still very, very early stages.
Yeah.
The only title.
It's a fetus.
It's a little fetus. I only have the title for it.
Yeah.
But that one I want it to be like a lot more kind of like socially aware.
Okay.
Do
you want to share the title?
The title, as far as I know, for as of right now, is called Bad City. So
okay, I like it.
No.
What I do on my other podcast, and I've been doing them for I think just the interviews, is we always like to leave the audience with a word, a catchphrase, a quote, anything. It could be inspirational, stupid, dumb, or anything.
Okay.
Once again, this is Review Box. Thank you guys so much, and I'm gonna let Jacob take us home.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Hold on. There you go.
Were you in sports?
I was in AYSO, and in high school I was part of the wrestling team for my freshman year.
Okay. So just wrestling?
Just wrestling.
No baseball?
No baseball.
Okay, because that throw really told the story.
I have to be honest with you.
Yeah.
At my job, there's a little running gag about me throwing things or catching things.
Are you not good at it?
I can't do either.
Where do you work?
I work at Yeri Photo.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I guess that job requires a lot of throwing?
No.
Okay.
Because we have cameras.
Okay, yeah,
so you probably wouldn't want to throw that.
That'd be very bad. But the times you do throw, it's no good.
No. Yeah, when it's like, hey, I need your car keys so we can move the truck. And I go, oh yeah, of course. And I throw them, and it's like, it misses them by a mile.
Okay.
Yeah.
If it's cool with you, I'm gonna go ahead and add this to the after credits of the pod, because it's just a random ass conversation. All right.